Right now, while you are watching this, someone is earning more from the same hours you worked yesterday. Not by working harder, by having built something that works without them. That gap between your position and theirs has a name. Almost nobody in employment has been shown what it means. You can work more hours. The gap stays. You can develop your skills. The gap shifts slightly. You can take the promotion. You are still inside the same structure. The name for what you do not have is leverage. The name for what the people running the organizations you work inside are operating with every day is exactly that. This video is not about borrowing money. It is not about financial products. It is about what leverage is at its structural core and why the education system you came through was never designed to give it to you. Section 1 explains why the word itself was redefined before you ever heard it. Every time you have encountered the word leverage, it arrived with a warning. Leveraged debt, leveraged buyouts, leveraged trading positions, high risk, high exposure, not for retail investors. The finance industry took a structural principle, one of the most fundamental in the architecture of wealth, and attached it exclusively to their products. Debt instruments, margin accounts, mechanisms that generate fees for the institution offering them. That version of leverage is theirs. It operates on you, not for you. Strip it out entirely. Archimedes did not have a brokerage account. He said, "Give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world." The lever does not do the work instead of you. It multiplies the work you do. A small input at the long end produces a large output at the short end. That is the entire principle. Leverage at its structural core is a positional advantage, the ability of a given input to produce more than equivalent output. That is what the people above you in your organization are running every day. And that is what you are currently operating without. Section 2 shows you exactly what position you are in right now, measured mathematically. You are at 1x. Here is the structure of your current position. You have skills, you have time. You convert time into labor. Labor is exchanged for income at a rate someone else sets. 1 hour of your work produces 1 hour of value. There are 24 hours in a day. You work 40 hours per week. You can increase your skill set and raise the hourly rate. But the structural relationship does not change. Your output is a direct and equivalent product of your input. That is 1 times. Now consider the person who owns the organization you work inside. They are not working harder than you. In many cases, they are working less. But their input is producing at a multiplier. Every person they employ converts their own time into value, a portion of which flows to the ownership position. Every system they built processes inputs without their constant presence. Every asset compounds without their daily labor. You are contributing to the multiplier someone else is running. The organization is not designed to share that multiplier with you. It is designed to rent your labor at market rate, which is always less than the value it produces. The difference stays at the ownership position. This is not an injustice argument, it is a structural description, and the structure only changes when you build a position of your own. And here is the counterintuitive finding most people miss about where that begins. The multiplier and the entry point. Most people who finally decide to build leverage make the same mistake. They start at the wrong end. They wait until they have enough capital to begin with property, with a business, with something that looks like wealth before it generates any. And while they wait, the highest returning entry point expires unused, every single day. Here's the question leverage answers at its core. Can my input produce while I am not producing? A salary cannot. The moment you stop showing up, the income stops. Every hour you have ever worked is gone. The output it generated, spent. The only thing that remains is what you directed somewhere other than consumption. A media asset can. Created once, it delivers every time it reaches someone new. No additional input required per delivery. The hours you invested do not expire. They left something behind that keeps running. A capital position can. Money directed toward assets that compound continues to generate without your presence. Not money in an account losing ground to inflation. Money positioned into structures that grow. A system can. A business structure built around a process, not around you, continues when you leave the building. The employees, the product, the operation, none of it requires your daily input once the structure is in place. A network position can. Relationships and positioning that open access to capital, to opportunity, to markets, that no additional hours or money alone can purchase. 4 forms. Each one generates independently of your presence. Each one carries a different capital requirement, a different time horizon, and a different point of entry. The framework is the same. The vehicle depends on your position. The question is not, do I have enough to begin? The question is any portion of my current output directed toward a position that multiplies? If the answer is no, you are funding a lifestyle that cannot outlast your ability to show up and perform. Leverage is not a secret available only to the wealthy. It is a structural position, available to anyone who understands it clearly enough to build it deliberately. The reason most employed professionals never reach it is not money. It is not ambition. It is not effort. It is the sequence they were taught. Earn, save, retire, hope the numbers work. That sequence was built for an era that no longer exists, a time when pensions held their value, when 30 years inside one structure meant something, when the savings rate kept pace with the cost of building a life. That era is gone, and every year spent inside the sequence, waiting for it to deliver what it was never designed to produce. The gap between your position and a leverage position gets wider. Not because you are falling behind, because positions that compound are moving forward without you. Every day, without your permission, without waiting for you to be ready. The next video is about the structures, not the concept, not the principle, the actual legal and financial vehicles, entities, trusts, capital frameworks that employed professionals use to build a leverage position before they have the wealth to fill it. The people operating those structures today did not inherit them. They built the structure first, then filled it. You are building the understanding right now. We will see you there.